Living TV live time. That's what it is. That's what it is. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, what's up? I'm your host, Greg Gray, one of your hosts at least. And welcome to another week. Hey, this week, man, we want to motivate. We want to motivate. Last week we were telling you our stories, but this week we want to motivate. We want you to be a part of this. We want everybody who's a motivator out there to come on. Tell us your how you keep yourselves motivated, how you motivate others. You know, what's your self motivation ritual? How does life treat you and allow you to motivate yourself? All right. How can we find motivation during this ridiculous time that we're living in, this COVID time that we're living in? How do you find motivation? Let me start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. It's ours. It's stuff we talk about. So this week we're going to be inviting a lot of people on here. We're going to be talking about how to motivate yourself, how to get motivated. Got a couple of little clips I'm going to show. Shout out to everybody who's out there living a dream, you know, who's gone through periods of motivating themselves so that they can get to where they're at right now. It's a beautiful thing to stay motivated. When you lose that motivation to do things, to get out there and make your dream come true, it's sad. Pat Gould, hey man, we're gonna pray for you, brother. Been under the weather. We're going to pray for you, man. Stay motivated. Stay motivated. We're gonna pray for you though, brother. Most definitely. That's brother from another mother, Mr. Patrick Gould. Definitely looking out for you, brother. So yeah, how do you motivate yourself? You know, first thing that comes to my mind is, you know, after we've been blessed to wake up and to get up, motivate myself to start the day. Bella Bonita, what's going on? Hearing a lot of good things about you, man. So it's my sister right there. Hope everything is well. Hope you continue to prosper in this terrible, terrible, terrible time that we're living in, okay? I say shut everything down, not you per se, but you know what should have happened was shut everything down 2 weeks, make everybody take a COVID test, weed out all of the people that got it against the people that don't have it, treat those people, quarantine, get them out, bam, we back. Everybody's good. Wouldn't have all of that mess, you know, but hey, here's what it is. I'm motivated to stay strong and keep going, all right? That's what I do. So I get up in the morning. First thing I do when I get up is I pray. Not for myself, you know, I thank God for getting me up, but I pray for others, man. People that have these dreams, people that are less fortunate than I am. I pray that they have a creative day, you know, get to where they need to get to. Everybody's got dreams and people are afraid. Some people are afraid to even express their dreams. So let's motivate everybody to get out there, do their thing, make it happen. All right. So this was cute. I'm gonna play this twice, maybe 3 times today. This was very cute. Y'all check this out. I'll be right back.
You're beautiful. You're smart. You're loved. This week we're great. You got this. You're a badass. You can do this.
That baby said, "You're a badass. You can do this." That was real cute, man. That's motivation. I love it when I see, especially little kids like that, man, and they can express themselves. You know, somebody's taught her well, so you know, shout out to her. But here's some tips on how to be motivated. I'm gonna play this a few times today too. Waiting for the other guys to get on here, but y'all check this out. Greg Gray, Dope Living TV. Be right back. Motivation, y'all. Motivation. Motivation. Take time to reset. After you had a long, hard day, take time to step back, reset. You know, think about what happened today. Think about things that went bad today, and then say to yourself, "This is not going to happen tomorrow because I know what happened today. I'm not going to let this happen tomorrow, and let's get it in. Let's make the right things happen." So that's all part of it, man. Motivation, motivation. Here's one more, y'all. Check this out. I actually played the same one. My bad. Okay, I'll get it on later. Though, okay, what's up? Let's welcome Gina to the show.
Hey, happy
Yeah,
Monday.
yeah, it is. What's going on?
You got it. I'm ready to motivate and inspire.
Oh, of course, that's what we got to do. Got to do. I played this little kid, man. I think we, as a team, we saw that little kid that Chris sent us, um, and I mean, I thought it was extremely cute, but he, she, whatever it is, had the right idea on how to motivate. Period. You know, but she said she's a badass. Be a badass. I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at her. But how do you motivate? How do you get up, start your day off? How do you motivate yourself?
Well, it especially lately since going through illness, it took a lot. I motivate by keeping positive people around me. My circle is full of positive people, and
Hmm.
I went through some life-changing experiences that I really had to really search and find ways to motivate. I learned meditating helped me a lot. When you bog down with so much, you have to clear your mind so that you can think. And so I do a lot of meditating now. Um, I lost my husband of 17 years in 2013. And I was really at a very, very dark point at that time. But I had friends that would call me up, take me out to dinner. They brought me dinner. They just would do things to help motivate me. And I think they could sense when I was falling into that dark space because they always popped up.
Right.
Those are friends when they can connect with what's going on with you without you telling them. Those are real friends. And so I always keep people like that in my circle. Ludine, she helped me through this COVID stuff because it was very depressing and really messing with my psyche. And
Right.
she would, call me up and tell me things to do, motivate me. You got to have those people around you. If you have negative people around you, you're gonna fall into that negative realm right along with them.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of key to have a great support group. Um, I know, honestly, like I was saying before you got on, when I'm depressed, not depressed, but when I need to motivate myself, uh, especially starting off my day, I pray first. I don't pray for myself. I pray for others. That others get motivated to live out their dreams. We're living our dreams right now. You, myself, everybody that's on our panel, and a lot of others that I've reached out to today. They're living their dreams, but what keeps them motivated to continue to do this? Sometimes with the work that I do, I get bored. because I can do it. And I want to do something else, want to try to do
Mhm.
something else, but I motivate myself and say, well, hey, how can I take this to the next level? So that I continuously motivate myself to do better, to get better, to motivate others to be better, because there's a lot of people out there, Gina, and I'm quite sure you know it because you do this with your platform, your actors, not actors, authors platform. You try to
Mhm.
motivate others not only to write a book, but to read a book. You know what I mean? To discuss books. And to laud themselves, not necessarily laud themselves, but pat themselves on the back for living their dream. Writing books, I know for a fact it's not easy. I've been asked to write my story. I said I ain't doing it. Now somebody can ghostwrite it for me, but I ain't. I'm not finna do it.
But you know what? If you're doing something that you love, that's motivational right there.
Hmm.
When I'm writing my book and I get up in the morning thinking about, okay, what's gonna be my next chapter, it's motivation. And
Hmm.
a lot of times people live in the now, what they're going through right now, what they've gone through. I always say, never look back, because if you look back, you're going to walk into a brick wall.
Exactly.
Even if you made a mistake, if you felt like there's things that you shouldn't have done, don't look back at them. Keep going. That's a learning experience. And so many people live in the what's happening to them now that it's hard for them to get motivated.
Hmm.
You have to step outside of what's happening now and think about what you anticipate on happening in the future. And that's how you get out of those ruts and how you get out of those uh, situations you feel are bad situations.
Yeah.
Hey,
Everybody,
Nadine.
let's welcome Ludine.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
What's going on? What's going on? Hey, Ludine, and I'm gonna tell you, I got motivated this weekend. We reached it with the show. We reached a plateau. All right.
I
All
saw.
right. We got. Hey, it got bigger than that. Okay, but we got. Look, the audience is
I
growing.
saw.
Just tell everybody that, and it may not stay that way. It may fluctuate. But the thing is, we reached a plateau and we're going to reach another plateau and the other plateaus are going to come. All right. That's motivation to me. Okay. If we reached this point, then we can get better. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm motivated to get it to that next level. And y'all
Well,
know
I
I
want to thank the audience for tuning in and chiming in and making the show a success.
most definitely. Okay. Yeah. We do appreciate you guys because this isn't, we may sit up here and we talk and we laugh and joke with one another, but to reach people as we do, it's not an easy task. It is not an easy task. We have to be, number one, believable. Okay. We have to be, like our topic this week, motivating. Otherwise, you won't come to us. Now, there are some people, and I've gotten inboxes where, and we'll talk about this after the show, but we're not going to reach everybody. Everybody's not going to like what we talk about or what we do or what we represent. They're not going to like it. Okay.
Right. Right. I tell everyone that's how many channels on your TV, Gina?
Oh, a lot.
I mean, like really, like 100, right? How
Right.
many shows, how many channels on your that's because everybody don't like everything. You're not everything is not for everybody.
Exactly.
Right.
If that was, this would be boring. We'd be robots, programmed. We already being programmed. But that's why there's different channels. That's why there's Dope Living. That's why there's XYZMA, whatever.
Right.
We're not gonna reach everybody, but those that tune in and those that stay will be changed. No, transformed. I'm gonna use a different word, transformed.
Transform.
And you're absolutely right, Ludin. A lot of people, uh, we try to make everybody feel like they're family with us. Um, we're no better than anybody else. We bring them to well, we go to each other's levels, and we talk about things that most shows don't are afraid to talk about. Honestly, all right, they talk
Really
about it,
afraid? Okay.
they glance on them, but we we go in, we go all the way in. We stick our foot in and then drag the other foot in with us, and then step out the other side. We
No,
go in.
we in this all we in all the way up to our noses just to
Oh,
breathe.
Just enough to breathe, right? Just enough to breathe. And it's crazy that, you know, again, and I think Gina had touched on this last week, you know, how did we all come together like this? You know, how did this
Yeah.
consortium happen? You know, I don't know how it happened, but the thing is, you know, God brought us together, and He ain't gonna take us apart. I don't care. We can argue, we can talk about each other, we can do whatever, okay? But we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going no place, all right? And that to me is motivation as well. You know, I have to look. I couldn't say who has done what at what level. Okay, I know what level I've been at. Okay, and you know, to be where I was at and to be with a bunch of people who have different genres of whatever they're doing in this world, you know, it keeps me at a humble level. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that dude that everybody thinks that I am. Okay, everybody wants me to be. You know, and that's the one thing too. And I think the Commodore said it best. You know, everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. All right. I'm not happy when I try to fake it. I can't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't do it at all.
I want to just say this because sometimes when you see, especially when you see certain, you see people, and I'm just going to use, people in the music industry, people in the acting industry. I'm just going to use that as an example. A lot of people look at those individuals and they see just happiness and wealth and everything going well. But you have to realize that's only TV. And
Yep.
everybody go through struggles, hard times, difficulties, depression. And we've been at points in our lives when we didn't feel motivated. I know I
Yeah.
have. I've
I
been
know I
at
have
points
to.
where I feel motivated.
Oh, I'm
And I
I'm
did
the
not
same way.
feel like, I want to finish this project. And that's, we have to have those people around us to motivate us, or have those things that you do to motivate yourself. When I was driving back and forth to Schaumburg every day, an hour and a half drive, my motivation to do that for 15 years was
Mhm.
to put on my music in my car, and that was my me time. And I got my head right in the car on the
Exactly.
way to work, listening to my music.
You
So it's
gotta
a
you
lot of
gotta
different
find it.
things that,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to find that niche that's gonna help you motivate and move on.
Hey, y'all, let's
Well, you
welcome
know,
Chris.
it's the hey Chris.
Hey,
I
Chris.
hope everybody it looks like everybody had a safe, fulfilling, wonderful. I'm tired, y'all. But anyway,
Ah,
I had too much fun.
And Thanksgiving at home, but guess what I got back today, guys? I made it to I
I
passed my
know. Hey.
y'all know how happy
Right.
I was.
Congrats.
Yeah, good. Great job.
Congratulations,
Great
for
job.
sure.
Thank you.
that's God all day, man. All day. Chris, what's going on, bro?
Oh man, chilling, man. Had a long weekend.
I think we
Tell
all
me
did.
about it.
Yeah.
Baby bye.
Y'all
Voice,
saw it.
you lost your voice, Chris. You sound like you lost your voice a little bit.
Nah, man. I mean, that's what made me pick the subject of motivation.
But I was gonna say, I think we are the only people who stay up and all of a sudden at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, we got something to say to each other. Because I know this
Yeah.
got up after I saw what you put out there, Chris. I said, well, let me put the post out now. Let me put it out.
Yeah. Because one of the things that happened, even though it happened 10 days before, one of the people that I were doing the project here in Vegas with, he had the properties that we wanted. Passed away on Friday.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so
Wow.
now we're in a what we're gonna do state right now.
Wow.
And I get it.
Yeah. So
how do you
that was the main reason of me making that the suggesting that be the subject of this week.
Yeah, and thank you for doing it. Thank you guys for agreeing to it, man. What's up, Suzette? Hope everything's going well. Bella Bonita, Patrick Goo. So how And that's a perfect example, brother. How do you stay motivated through something like that?
Right now, just thinking positive right now. You know what I'm saying? We have to figure out what legal actions, not legal like in suing, but how his properties are going to end up now. Because there was a lot of properties that he bought here, and we had a lot of people didn't want to work with him. But now that he's gone, a lot of the sharks gonna come out the woodworks.
You already know.
You know what I'm saying? So we, one, got to find a way to keep his legacy alive, and two, find a way where we ain't got to go into a bidding war, which we know we'll win, but we don't want to have to go into a bidding war to pay more than what the property is actually worth.
Well, that's what happens in that's real world consequences. That's real world challenges. However, this is what I always do. I look at the what ifs, and I go there. I go all the way there. I go after I'm gone, who's left behind. I kind of see, well, who's gonna do what, who's gonna keep things alive. Because I actually said when Kela Chukwu Barenfre passed away, I said, who's gonna keep his legacy alive? Right. I said, so we made it not that we wouldn't as GIBFF, but we said we are definitely going to make sure that he is present in everything we do, because he was if you're an activist, if you're a motivator, whatever you did. So then you have to say, well, that's fine, but who's going to be in charge of my legacy?
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things we're trying to figure out right now. So, I mean, the part that we come into a brick wall at is that he didn't have any children and he wasn't married. So we have to see where his property goes. So that's what we're at with it. But you know what I'm saying? I'm still thinking positive every day.
Got to, man. You got to keep it moving.
But that's when you.
Go ahead, Lily.
Well, one of the things, I don't have any children. I don't have a husband. So if my parents are alive, it goes to my parents. And here's the other part, and I'm just getting personal. My biological father is alive, but he wasn't in my life. He can come back and contest anything. He can put his 2 cents on anything. Never in my life. Then guess what? He's got brothers, sisters, nephews, anybody that's attached to me, my lineage, my bloodline. So you got to put things in place to shut it down.
Y'all already know I got mine.
When you don't have a husband or right, you got to put things in place to shut it down.
I done already wrote the name.
Yep.
Already done. Mine is in place, so ain't gonna be no contesting it. I don't care who comes up and say anything. Everything I got goes to Jordan. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, and I know pretty much how it plays out because of the Michael Jackson situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And John McClane and John Bracca. You know what I'm saying? Those are people that was in charge of his estate that pretty much brought Mama Kathy in to figure stuff out. So,
and again, man, the gentleman Gordon Keys, he died. Everybody knows the guy who had Steel Town Records. He died. So regardless of what the situation is there, man, I want to make sure that everybody knows, because I got an inbox saying that we didn't mention that. Yeah, you already know. We didn't mention it and everything, but we did. Matter of fact, Ludine brought it up. Okay?
Yeah.
But here's what it is. I'm going to say this. Great man. He lived out his dream completely to the end. All right. Did he get what he deserved? He doesn't feel that way, and a lot of people probably don't feel that way. The world may never know. All right. But the thing is, a great man passed, and we respect him. We honor him, and you know, definitely.
Who remember Ripples and Wave plus
Oh yeah,
Mike?
oh yeah.
Who?
The Jerry Curls.
Ripples and Wave plus Michael. So that was the group. That was the group that quote unquote was supposed to be going to Jackson,
Right.
and he was trying to put Michael into their group and not the Jackson 5 group.
Wow.
Yeah. Suzette says she remembers.
They had the two songs I heard from them is what is it? Let me carry your school book.
Yeah.
And what was the it was another one they had.
Oh, they can sing.
Yeah.
They can sing. So look, y'all, Chris, thank you for sending this little kid. I'm gonna play this again. I played this earlier, but I'm gonna play this little kid. That's
hey, my purpose for sending that is really for the women than it is anything else.
But
it's I didn't want you to think I was sending that to you, big bro.
Bro, you already know. Me and you ain't like that, bro. I know what you're thinking.
I didn't want to have to put no homo at the end.
But this is real cool, and I think everybody who looks at it should be motivated by it. Even this 2-3-year-old gotta be okay. That's that piece right here. Y'all check this out.
You're beautiful. You're smart. You're loved. This week will be great. You got this. You're a badass. You can do this.
Yeah, that's the part there. That's the part right there.
Yeah, that was the part, man.
Yeah. But you're a badass. Suzette said Warren Tipton was in that group. That's Warren Tipton is Freddie Gibbs' father.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's all good though, man. So to stay motivated, what is all of this stuff here, man? I'll be glad when I go home. To stay motivated, man, for real. Because right now, and Jeannie, you've gone through it. Ludine, you've gone through it. Thank God Chris and I haven't gone through it, and hopefully we won't go through it. You guys have gone through COVID, and a lot of people have just given up. As soon as you hear COVID, you have COVID. It's like, oh Lord, Claude have mercy. It's like life is over. We're going to die.
That's what you get too from people.
Yeah. My thing is that as long as I saw Jana and I saw Ludine at home and not in a hospital bed, I wasn't too worried. I knew they'd make it through.
Well, see, I'm gonna tell you, when it hit home for me, when my son called me and said, "Dad, I got COVID," dude, I was panicking, and I was like, "I don't care. I guess I'm getting ready to get COVID too because I'm coming to you." He's like, "No, Dad, don't do that." He said, "Don't do that." He said, "I got it, so you got to stay away." Which I'm like, cool. Now, normally I stayed away because I was really, really, really busy. So I hadn't seen him previous to him telling me that. We just FaceTimed each other. But when he told me that, man, everything dropped, okay? Everything just dropped. My heart dropped and everything. But, he sounded good.
Yeah.
But the fact remains that he had COVID. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like I said, it's one of those situations that as long as I see them at home and not in a hospital room, then I know they'll get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the people, like I said, pretty much 95 to 98% of the people that I see that's passing from it is passing in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when it's all
I didn't want to go.
Yeah,
I had gotten that sick where I really was debating if I should go or not. I just did not want to go. I did not want to go to the hospital.
Yeah, when I saw you at home and I saw Ludine at home, I was like, okay, they're gonna get through it.
And see, that's the same thing. My son's mom, she had COVID pneumonia. Okay, I mean, she was in bad shape.
Yeah, so that's too. But I don't. Did they diagnose her with pneumonia or just COVID?
They told her COVID pneumonia. I can show you the text right now. But right now, she back to talking shit. All right,
That's a good thing.
I mean, tall shit too. And I'm like, damn.
I think she was sick as long as I was,
Yeah,
or longer.
yeah,
I think she was sick longer than I was.
yeah. She's still sick, but she's to the point now where she's able to, respond to my stuff, and she comes back with her shit. We back to normal. I'll put it like that. I still haven't been around her like that because she still is recuperating. The doctor says she was one of those people that it's going to take 2 to 3 months, maybe a little bit longer, to fully recuperate.
This,
But she's been motivated, man.
I got a question for Ludine. Ludine, do you feel like anything is off since recovering from COVID?
Yeah. So two things. I'm not as sharp as I used to be.
Really?
I have to. Yeah. I have to. I used to recall. I used to work in retail. I used to recall SKUs. Like, you know how many SKUs are in a regular store, and I was in a SKU with thousands. I mean, I used to recall SKUs like nothing, phone numbers. So if I'm dialing something, I'll look at it, and most of the time I can dial things. That's another brain. Try not to get so caught up on touching one for, Greg, touching, 3 for Gina. So I say the numbers in my head, but I'm not as sharp as I used to be. And the other part is, now 2 things happen. Not as sharp, so I have to, write long to-do lists, like longer to-do lists, and really look at it. I can see the number in front of me, and I'll dial it, and I'll see it, and I'll dial it. I'm like, what's going on? But the other part to that is, let me tell you one of the other parts to it. I used to hold back a lot of things that I used to say. I used to just say, okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to be nice. I let loose on a lot of people now. I mean, like, let loose. I don't have.
It's so funny
I'm
because
still, I'm
same thing here.
You don't. Yeah, I don't have too much. I used to have a lot of patience for a lot of shit, and I'm just gonna say that I don't have patience anymore. I really don't have patience anymore.
And that's the truth. Your patience has run thin. Very thin.
They say once you recover from COVID, they say you still have some things that are off. That's not the same.
I'm gonna get a brain scan. I'm gonna get a brain scan. I'm getting a brain scan in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Same. He called it brain fog, and I'm the same way. I haven't recovered from it yet. My memory is still not there. I'm remembering things slowly. For instance, before I went to Minnesota back in October, I was supposed to go and pick up my tax forms from my accountant, and it just hit me last week that I never picked up my paperwork. And so things are slowly coming back that I had left my brain. And even when it came to work, that's why I had to take a week off, because I wasn't as sharp. I couldn't remember numbers. I work with a lot of numbers, and I have 12 employees that I have to manage, and I couldn't remember things. It's just like your gray cells are gone.
Hey,
I was with Jocelyn. Oh, hey, Jocelyn. Hey.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Hey.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Silly.
How you doing, Jocelyn?
I'm here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Things don't happen justly. They have to. I fucked it up. Excuse me.
Things don't just happen. They happen justly.
Things don't just happen.
I went into Jocelyn's place of business one day to get some food, and she said, Ludine, what is that on you? I literally had to put my to-do list right here so I wouldn't forget certain things. That day I couldn't forget certain things, because you'll be like, and I'm like, when you walk into the room and you forget. No, walk into a day and forget.
So
walk into the day and forget stuff.
So Joshua, she stepped out that yellow bus and went right into the place with her notes on, right?
That's how I get my employees off the bus.
Oh,
they know
it. I hope they listen.
They know
it. So, hey, Jocelyn, how do you motivate yourself just to continue to do what you do? Because I know you're going through even now you go through a whole lot of BS. I've cursed twice today, so I'm gonna stop now. You're going through a lot of 3 times. I'm sorry. going through a lot of BS right now with everything that you're going through, okay? And I know the BS that you went through last summer, all right? How do you keep yourself motivated? Do you just want to say F it, and I want to say the word, but I ain't gonna say it till 7:45. How do you stay motivated?
Well, I have a mentor. Things don't just happen, they happen justly.
Absolutely.
And even before a lot of, my whole life has been overcoming, and overcoming. I'm not going to talk about challenges. I'm going to say overcoming and lessons. And the story of the I think somebody was in the forest, and they dropped breadcrumbs along the way to remember how to get back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in life, I believe God has given me breadcrumbs and dropped it along the way. And the journey has led to a place of continual evolution. And why? So when things get challenging, and there are many days when I say, fuck it, I'm over it, I have to come back to the why. And one of my additional mottos is love to live. And that came, of course, out of the most recent or the heaviest burden that I carried in my son's last words to me: Mom, I love you, but I'm done living. And so from
Mm.
that, I carry that it is my goal to love to live. And then some days it's really hard, like fuck it all. But then that's when you have to hold on to live for the things that you love. And your why is that thing. So if you can see beyond the goal and know why you're doing something, for me, it encourages me to keep going. I want to be the change that so many people say that's needed. I want to be a good steward over the different blessings that have been bestowed to me. Um, I want my life to be meaning for something, have meaning in what I do and what I say. I want people to feel better. I want people to know better. And if that can come by my experiences and my overcoming, then I feel as though I have been a worthy steward over this time that has been bestowed to me by God.
Absolutely.
I got a
Absolutely.
question. I got a question. Uh, Ludine and Gina. I know y'all had COVID. Jocelyn and Greg, did y'all have it too? Cause y'all cussing up a storm today. Y'all all right?
I plead the fifth.
This is called
Baby.
this is called it's called flowetry.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I'm just
And I
checking. I
don't
mean,
know.
I just want to
That's
see
a
if I can
whole
join
that's a
in. That's all.
that's a whole nother show. We're gonna do a show on profanity. That's a whole nother show.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
is. Yeah.
every word in our
So
sentences have to be profanity.
okay. Let me two things motivate me. I always say two things, but you know what really, I mean, my ancestors. And I just sometimes I say, ooh, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed. They didn't have a choice. We have a choice sometimes. They certain ancestors, they didn't have a choice. They had to do what somebody told them to do. They had to do it to live another day. They had to do the. I mean, when I think about what my grandmother, born in 1924, what she and then her mother, born in 18, and all of that, I was like, my family, my ancestors, they pretty much motivate me, and God. But God keeps. He said, nope, not. I haven't done enough. God be's like, you haven't done enough. That's what motivates me. I'm like, I haven't done enough. I haven't done enough. That's
So
simple for me.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate on this, okay? And y'all know I do that very well. Um, so with that, now you mentioned your ancestors and people talk about Martin Luther King motivation, blah 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 blah, and we need to do this, and we but I wasn't back then, so I've had my I've read about it, I haven't lived through that. I mean, people have said. I mean, I've seen some racism, but I haven't lived through that. So that doesn't motivate me. Okay,
No,
as
I
far
go
as
back further than that. Go back further than that, though.
I'm saying,
Way back.
I've heard stories. Okay, but
Well,
I'm in the era right now where I'm cool.
but,
I didn't have to
but
do
you
none of
know,
that.
but you know what it is? It's when those names and those people come up, it's motivation to the fact of what they did as a community and for others. Like what MLK did for others, what Malcolm X did for others. You know what I'm saying? Even you can go back to Harriet Tubman, what she did for others. You know what I'm saying? It's not what they went through, it's what they went through to help others get out their situation and motivate them to want to prosper more. So it's pretty much more than it is them directly.
Because I hear people say it all the time. They did this for us. They did this for us. They did this for us. Okay, but at that time,
For us to have what we have, for us to have what we have and do what we do now, someone had to come before us.
yeah.
All of
But
us.
okay, but let me ask you this. So, okay, and all of these people are dead now, right? So, are is motivation to you guys? And like I said, I have my own particular answers for this, but um, I'm giving the other side. All right, you have the Trayvon Martin, you have the Mike Brown, all of those people. They died at the hands of some sort of racism. Is that motivation?
It is.
Because
It
it
is
wait, wait,
motivation.
wait,
Yeah.
Things
wait, hold on,
don't
hold on,
just
hold on,
happen.
And
hold
that's
up.
just the
Wait,
physical.
just wait a minute. Because what I saw it is that it could be negative motivation as well. Because after that happened, a bunch of people went out and they started looting and they started rioting, and their motivation was okay. We're doing this because this happened. Okay, that's negative motivation. Is that always good?
It's not
That's a
necessarily negative
symptom of something
motivation.
else.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to things don't just happen, they happen justly. So I let's not name it good or bad. Let's
Mhm.
call it an evolution of um our comprehension or our subconscious coming to light. And because every action has a reaction, and there are a lot of opportunists in the world, and there is a current generation that has entitlement issues. I've been watching The Crown on Netflix, and it's
Okay.
incredible the perception that I have had prior to watching the interpretation of how these people move, act, and what they dealt with. It's easy for us to be void of empathy and pass judgment because we base it on our personal experiences. Um, I kind of shuddered when you like, well, these people have died, but everything has a season and everything shall die. And then from death comes rebirth, regeneration, and it's a continual cycle. So without a Frederick Douglass, without a Martin Luther King, without uh, a George Floyd, certain evolutions wouldn't happen. I asked the question when George Floyd passed, who is the person to stand up our current day Martin Luther King? You know what I'm saying? We talked about President Barack Obama, and there are many people who say he didn't do anything for the Black people. But why is it anybody's job to stand up for us?
Right.
Again, we have to have a sense of self, and we have the more smart we've gotten, the more information that we've gotten, we also have become a lot lazier. I always talk about integration was the detriment to our community. When they said that we would commingle, we gave up our own sense of self. And so now the evolution is coming back, support Black business, Black Lives Matter. We are, through these experiences, are regaining our own self worth, our own self interest, our own why we matter. And for so long, we relinquished that. So I say that now the tide is changing. I'm not going to call it good or bad, the looting, but in part of my mind, I see the looting as saying I deserve better. And now the question is, do I take it by force? Because the Bible also says, take it by force. But what does that truly mean? You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
evolution, involvement, and it goes back to where I came in to the whole podcast, um, Cube and the contract. We all got different thoughts of how to get there, but now it's how do we collaborate, come together, and be cooperative in this effort to make a change.
Absolutely.
But you also have to think about not all of that was motivation. Some of it was like Jocelyn said, some of it was opportunity
Reaction.
um, and
Reaction.
reaction. So you have to be able to differentiate the two. Not everybody that went out there was motivated by, what was happening, George Floyd dying and all those different things. It was opportunity. So you have to be careful when you say, were you motivated to do something negative? Because it's not always motivation.
Hmm. So as we do this week, go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say, let me just add on to that. So it's a lot of stuff that we have to decipher
Hmm.
from what we're seeing from the news and what's actual truth. Because most of the looting that happened was started from someone or something from either Antifa, the government, whoever was set in place for them to start, and it makes it look like it's one of us. Like during the
Right.
daytime, you had the peaceful rallies. During the nighttime, that's when you had the looting, protesting. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Most of the positive that came from the protesting and stuff happened during the daytime. You know what I'm saying? But you had your Antifas, you even had police officers that was, uh,
Anarchists. Anarchists.
yeah, yeah, all of that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we have to know how to spot out the difference between the two. And the other thing about what Jocelyn was talking about MLK, about uh, George Floyd, and all of them, it's not
Mhm.
about how they did it. It's
Mhm.
about what they did, and we pretty much latch on and continue to carry that on. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? People get on Barack a lot about he didn't do nothing for the black people, but if you know how it's all set up, it
Mhm.
wasn't that he didn't do anything.
Mhm.
It's just he didn't have the House and he didn't have the Senate at the time to get stuff passed. Only thing
And
he
it,
do
and it,
was
it took
oh,
longer. It was going to take a while to undo what was done.
not
And
not not really. If he would have had the House and the Senate, it would have got done. He didn't have both
yeah,
of them. So only thing the president does is say yes or no on whatever bill law comes to his desk, and it's up for them to vote on.
So what the hell is wrong with Trump?
The same thing happened with Trump. That's why no president has ever really been impeached, because you can get impeachment
One part of that.
from one part, but don't get impeached from the part that's really going to impeach you when they vote. They're not
They
going to.
should have impeached him. They should have appled him, strawberried him,
I mean, that's
added him,
that's
whatever.
that's that's true. They should have, but the way it's set up, it never happened. You know what I'm saying?
but
Because we have to go through the steps to get it done. And
And Greg.
with
Well,
huh?
go
no,
ahead,
go ahead.
Chris. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say with Barack, it was just a situation where his hands was tied, so it looked like he didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like it
But we
was certain agendas that he was pushing that really wasn't pushed. Okay, he voted yes. Now they voted yes on the LG whatever the alphabet game is what I call
yeah, yeah.
it. Yeah,
The consonants.
yeah,
LGBT.
yeah, most definitely. So it was one of those situations where it looked like that's all he did, but that was not his intention of doing. And that's the same thing with any president. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that Trump just trying to do right now. You know what I'm saying? Cutting folks off their food stamps. You know what I'm saying? And doing crazy stuff like that. When Joe right now is talking about, okay, well, I'm cutting 10,000 off of every student loan that's out there. You know what I'm saying? And if your student loans is a 10,000 and under, it's vanished. You know what I'm saying? It's things that can happen. It's things that can happen. It's things you can put out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just about having control. That's why January 5th is very important for Georgia, because if we get those two, we control the Senate, we control the House, and it's the president. And I'm not saying we as Black people. I'm just saying as Democrats, where they would try to do something
as a country.
Yeah,
we're gonna get
and
go ahead.
I would encourage everybody to look. I would encourage everybody to look up. Do you know there are things that the president can do without asking anybody? Do you know we can eliminate hunger? We can eliminate poverty, period. Homelessness, education. Do you know the president doesn't need the House or the Senate or any permission to put certain things in place, as far as it's a I forgot what they call it, but look it up. So when people don't do things, I look at you sideways. I'm like, you had a power and you don't do it. But it's a reason why they don't do it, because they can't have everybody reading and writing and not hungry.
Yeah, you gotta have it. You gotta look at it this way too. You gotta have a top, middle, and bottom. And the last
I get that
4 years, the last 4 years has just been the top and the bottom and no middle. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
If you take away the bottom,
why can't my bottom be? Why can't we move that bottom up though? Just move the bottom up a little bit.
But that's the thing about it, because they were trying to get rid of the middle, which is the middle class. Whether you just have the homelesses and basically poverty poor, and the 1%ers, which is up top. If you move that bottom up, America will be back the way it used to be.
I know a lot of people that say. I know a lot of people that say it doesn't matter who's running the country, who's president, it doesn't affect me. But I'm one that it affected. I'm that middle class that having Trump in office affected everybody. Me very, very deeply in my pockets. I felt the 4 years. I felt it deep. So it does make a difference, and it did affect the middle class.
Yeah, it affected tremendously, because you only had a 1% top class and you had a poverty low class. They was trying to erase the middle class.
Well, see, this COVID,
the middle class was going to go up or go down.
This COVID had to make us think differently, though. So as far as businesses go, I think all businesses it affected. You know, we had to think differently. We had to figure it out quickly, because it was a matter of us surviving as a business. So we had to figure it out quickly. Okay.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? COVID motivated a lot of people. In one way or another, it motivated a lot of people.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, as an entrepreneur, if you're a true entrepreneur, you will adapt and you will mend to provide service and protect yourself.
Yeah.
They always say survival of the fittest, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I cringe, and I have to talk to my mentor about this, because I get very agitated to hear that a lot of business owners went out of business. And my first question is, why and how could they not adapt? I looked at my numbers today. Last November, I finished out at $26,000. This November, I finished out about $34,000. So being that we're in quote unquote this horrible situation, how is it that my numbers have substantially increased in the manner that they have, whereas there are a number of businesses that have not been able to adjust and are out of business? So
it's an easy answer to that question. A lot of business owners did not prepare. They didn't prepare for something like this.
I can tell you that I wasn't necessarily prepared, but one thing that do was adapt. I used what I had to get what I want. And as a business owner, we are all problem solvers. So you have to figure out the problems and address them accordingly. Meet
Yeah.
them where they are because there's still a need. There's still folks out here who provide who need all the things that they needed before COVID and now even more so. So if you know your why, you know the totality of what you can provide, but more importantly, being in tune with your customer base,
Mhm.
then and your willingness to adjust, then you're in a good situation. So again, it's survival of the fittest, but it's not always in preparation. I could have had $12 million in my account, but if I hadn't properly prepared, I could have blown that $12 million in the first 2 months. So it's
Yeah.
not always about preparation,
So,
but it
Brother
is
Joe,
about uh,
go ahead.
what what I talk about my dad. You you make you do with what you got, and that's how some business owners have exploded, and then those how some have imploded.
So check this out.
Johnson,
Yes,
Go ahead,
I
Chris.
was gonna, I was gonna ask, but didn't it help you out too, of with the loyal customers that you had too? You
I would
know, yeah.
I would say yes, but the loyal customers didn't carry me. I have a whole uh, new
Customer base.
customers. Yeah, I have a whole new customers that had I not adjusted and adapted in the manner that I did, and I just depended on my loyal customer base. There's no determination
No,
of
no. What I'm saying by the loyal customers is that they continue to come, and they were actually part of your promotion
I would say
during this time that brought new people in. You know what I'm saying? When people be like, "Yo, what's open for breakfast right now?" You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say Jada's Kitchen is open. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? If they ask somebody that's loyal to you coming,
But
they'll
see,
be like, "Well, go try this out,"
check
and
mm.
this out.
it brought you new customers coming in during this pandemic.
And see,
And
Pandemic.
also the additional marketing too.
I can
Because
Yeah.
only speak on this though. Check this out. So everything that you said, Jocelyn, I totally agree with. Okay, but even though you had to plan, okay, I think a major reason is as to why a lot of those businesses did fail is because they depended on somebody else to make sure that they stayed afloat, okay, as opposed to re-strategizing, knowing everything is happening, re-strategize and do some things different. You got to do some things different. Don't depend on anybody to help you, all right? Because at the end of the day, everybody had to rethink. Everybody. All right, but these businesses, the ones in Chicago, where they get on the news crying about if they don't open back up or if this doesn't happen, then we're going to lose our business. Okay, you're going to lose your business because you didn't plan ahead. Okay, and you depended on something else to happen for you. A lot of these businesses depended on a stimulus package or something to see them through. What's going to happen when that stimulus package is spent? Okay, and just like these people, these guys that work in the mill, and I think I said this before to Chris. I think him and I were talking. You know, uh, the average person works a 40-hour week, okay? But in the mills and things of that nature, they get all of this overtime and this and that. So they're making 100,000. Some people even making up to $200,000 a year. What happens when all of that's cut? Okay, and you got to live on that 40 hours a week. All right, you don't know how to do it because you're used to making all of this money. Now you can go broke, okay? Because you didn't spend all of this money not saving, thinking that it's always going to be there. It's always going to be,
entitlement,
exactly.
entitlement.
And now it's not.
Well, it's actually trying to continue your lifestyle.
True.
When things are great. That's how people go broke. They don't know how to live. How can I put it? Live
Under your
responsibly.
under live responsibly. Exactly.
Hey,
Yeah,
I have been
People
broke.
plan, and
they do.
I tell.
They do a lot of.
Go ahead.
They do a lot of. They do a lot of wants, and not. They live by a lot of wants and not by a lot of needs.
Hmm.
I've been broke, so I know
I
how it is. I ain't never. I'm telling y'all, and somebody can say never say never. I ain't never gonna be broke again. I'm sorry. That ain't never gonna happen.
and you've learned from that, and that's the other part. People plan to to go in business, people don't plan to stay in business.
Right.
I want to go in business. So when we looked at our plan, my mother said, I'm a nurse. My sister was pre-med and I did. We were all in our field. She said, what skill level can each of us bring to the business if we need, and that's what we did. My mother said, if something happens, I can go back and do a nurse and teach and do whatever. She said,
Oh,
so
that's
what am
awesome.
I going to do? Right. So she said, I'm not going to go out and teach. I'm going to teach right here. So then what did I do? I was a training manager. I was a training manager. So I said, oh, you can come and run some of my classes, certain part. So you can use that skill level because you always have to figure out what else would happen. Because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
We had a medical supply company. The state of Indiana, there used to be a lot of DME, they call durable medical equipment. There used to be a lot of mom and pops. The state of Indiana said, we shutting all y'all down.
Mm-hmm.
You like, what?
So,
So you don't have small businesses doing durable medical. They gave that contract to people, 2 contracts, you bid it on it, but they went to 2 big companies in Ohio and something else. Nobody in the state of Indiana could not do it. So what do? There are things that are going to happen beyond your control. You better have a backup plan and a backup
And
plan
that's
for
it.
that.
That's the key right there, the backup plan. And that's where a lot of people lose their motivation because they don't have a backup plan. Things have shattered and they don't know which way to go. I've mentored a few women who call me crying, just crying, hysterically crying. This has happened in my life and I don't know what to do. First off, stop crying because that's not going to help you do anything but get your pillow wet. So stop crying and start thinking of plan B, a backup plan. You have to readjust when you have things to happen, whether it's in your life or whether it's in your business. We all go through things that's going to break us or knock us down. We have to have a backup plan, a way to get up and motivate ourselves and go in a different direction if we have to.
Absolutely. Ludine's not eating today, but she's eating something. So
right,
I'm lost. I'm lost.
right. To add on, you on mute, Ludine. You put yourself on mute so you ain't eat.
So she can finish slurping it down.
To add on to what Ludine was saying, and in that medical field, that's the same thing that they're doing in the cannabis world. They're getting rid of all the mom and pops and Fortune 500 companies that start cannabis companies. So the mom and pops is not going to be able to keep up with the Fortune 500 companies. You know what I'm saying?
In addition to that, you can't even use traditional financing. You can't cash business. And so you got to be liquid in order to even manage that whole process.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's ways around it. It's ways around the cash stuff, but it's having the cash to compete. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the cash to compete, most mom and pops don't have the cash to compete with 25 to 100, 200 billion. They don't have that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what Ludine was talking about them just giving contracts in Ohio or to the bigger markets to get the mom and pops out the way. They've been doing that for years. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I always tell these mom and pop cannabis companies, they have to learn how they have to have a plan B, because once it's legal in all 50 states, which I think is one of the things that Kamala Harris is trying to push right now. You know what I'm saying? Like hemp is legal in all 50 states.
Would you have ever thought that was God?
Hemp is legal in all 50 states, but cannabis, THC cannabis is not. So I think that's what they're trying to lead towards in this 4-year run to get that legal in all 50 states. And that guarantees Joe Biden, if he's still around, a second time.
What's so funny is, Gina, I think we're all saying the same thing. Using what you got to get what you want. May it be a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's about leveraging what we have in order to succeed and keep moving forward. We all have these gifts. We all have these talents and abilities. and how do we manage them and pull them together. But the good thing about this whole thing called Earth, the humankind is nothing but a big old puzzle, a big ass puzzle, and each of us are a different part, and we how we fit in. And as uh, African Americans, blacks, whatever you want to call us, we have to understand and utilize our power. Greg does what he does that has created a platform for each of us to be here. You, the gift of novelty. Ludine, the gift of pies and raps and just camaraderie. Chris, from music to development and all of that good stuff. We all got a tremendous power in our piece of the puzzle, and learning how to work together is the difference. And I totally believe that we're all saying the same thing, maybe with different words, but in the words of one of my favorite movies, Players Club, we got to use what we got to get what we want, and that is.
I thought you said something else.
I thought you was gonna say.
Did you see that?
You was gonna say. I thought you was
Google,
gonna
I
say one
Google
of my.
myself, and now I'm a porn star.
Right.
I thought
A white
you,
porn star.
I thought you was gonna say from my favorite movie, Players Club, and you was gonna be like, "You ain't nothing but a DJ. All you do is spin records. You do what I tell you to do."
But the thing of it is, even in that line, though, that was his gift, and that's what he brought to the table. That was his puzzle piece.
Trouble.
Do something to make me feel good.
Do something to make me feel good. Hey, but you know what? I'm going to make a conscious effort. In January, I'm going to take somebody who doesn't know what I do, doesn't know how to do it, and I'm gonna hire him, and I'm going to teach him how to do cameras, how to. Yes. I'm going to do the whole nine. I'm going to hire him, and I'm going to have him as my assistant. I'm going to take him everywhere. I'm going to clean him up if he's that indigent. I'm going to clean him up. I'm going to buy him some.
Hey, what can I put my application in?
You so silly.
Whatever, dude.
What? I can't get hired. I'm overqualified. See, that's how they do us black people.
I'm gonna do that. So, Jocelyn, when I come into your place, your establishment, to do, because Jocelyn will let me use her establishment to do scenes from her place. She's done it before. I'm gonna have another assistant, and that assistant will be somebody who knows nothing about television. They know nothing about shooting of cameras, and I'm gonna clean them up, and I'm gonna make sure that they have something to do. I'm gonna motivate them to do something else. I'm gonna keep them on a trial basis, but I'm gonna and if he's good and good, I'm gonna hold him down.
I got somebody for you.
No, she won't be coming here, dude. Sorry.
No, not a she. It's a he.
Who? Nah, dude.
No, why not?
We want to know.
He needs to learn. Why not?
I'm gonna get somebody that's really
that don't know anything about it. Basically.
No, don't know too much about nothing really. Because I'm gonna teach you. Watch, I'm serious. I'm going to.
No, I feel you. I feel you. No, I feel what you said exactly.
Greg, what's interesting about that is I have a couple of young folks who work for me, millennials. I guess that's their term. Mm-hmm. And 2 incidents. One incident was a young lady, and the customer came at her very strong, actually, while I was in Vegas. And I made the determination to pull her off the schedule. Then a couple of weeks ago, the gentleman, I got a call. I was actually working on some stuff for the building, so I wasn't in the restaurant. I got a call about how a situation had totally went off board, and it was a regular customer, quote unquote, a pastor in the community, a respected pastor in the community, who got very upset. And so I called to get his interpretation of what happened. And he's like, I told them not to tell you, etc. But in that moment, I learned something. If we discard our youth and don't give them training and direction, then who will? And so from that experience, I took them both to lunch that day, and I asked them, I said, what is it that I can help you to help me. I said, bottom line, this is my vision, this is my business. And I equated it to, I'm sure there's something that you have bought that you absolutely care and respect, and you put money into it and you take care of it. I said, that's this business for me. And you all are part of that business. So you are an outstretch of that. How can I help you guys? And the youngest, which is the female, said, I want training. I want to be better. And so I took that as a lead. And not that I have a whole lot of money, because I don't, especially trying to do the things that we're doing. But I made a commitment to them and for the whole team in customer service training. Because if I don't step up my game in providing them the tools that they need to be successful, they can go to a McDonald's or they can go to, I don't care, anywhere else. People don't care about people anymore, and they're not going to give them the necessary tools. So I commend you, Greg, on even making that statement. And I will be your accountability partner to make sure that you do what you're saying, and make sure that you train them and give them your all. Because if we don't reach back, then we're the ones to blame when we're at a total loss and we're talking about looting and entitlement. But we've got to give in order to get.
Absolutely. No,
I just want to know what can I sign up at. Do I got to relocate?
No.
Do I got to relocate?
Now you got to open up all these businesses. You said on.
I mean, that's still gonna happen regardless.
He didn't already open it. Look, Chris, man, don't make me say that. Let me.
That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen regardless. I'm just trying. I'm just
why you got to be so greedy?
Chris,
I'm not being greedy.
Johnson, he just secret.
No, see, the thing about it is the way it can work out. He can have somebody there, and he can still be teaching me from long distance that I can do it out here on the West Coast. Now I'm the West Coast ambassador of Dope Living TV, and what Greg Gray does, and then we're basically building out from the West Coast.
Okay, you can start off. I just sent you the logo, so you can start off with that. Okay, I did. You
didn't see I put that up? Let me show it to you.
We have one in Georgia as well.
You see it? It's right there, right at the top. You see it?
Sure is. Look at that.
You know the James Breakfast.
I don't play. You send it to me, I'm gonna put it up there.
Shit, it ain't nothing but a word.
Yeah. You got James Breakfast Club on its way. Oh, yep. Look at Gina. She over there typing too. You got Gina.
Hey, bring it on.
Everybody could. But yeah, I'm going to date. I appreciate that, Dawson. Thank you, sister. You always got my back. Hold me accountable, most definitely. If I say it, I got to do it. All right.
Hey, I ain't never got the job.
I got a lot of stuff that I got to feel.
I ain't never not got the job to my face before, bro. I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm saying
might have been his motivation, Greg.
We have to do, and honestly, we all have to reach back and get some and pull up somebody, man. Okay. And I prayed on this, man, and I just said, you know what? I do need some help. So why not get somebody who does it? There's a guy who was with my 925 music video show. He was in high school, getting ready to graduate, didn't know nothing about TV, cameras, or nothing. And we let him come and watch. One day he said, I want to do this. Can I just shadow y'all? He started shadowing us. He learned how to do the boards. He learned how to do the cameras. He actually became a personality on air with me. And this guy right now, man, runs his own business in Arizona doing just that. He does commercials. He's invented. He's got a patent on a call it the buddy key. His name is Ben Cherry. Okay, you know Benjamin Cherry.
Yeah.
I bought his I call it the COVID whatever.
The buddy key.
I bought that.
That's another. Hey Chris, that's another little brother. That dude right there, man. He funny as all get out, man. But that guy came from not knowing a thing to I call him and ask him, well, hey man, look, I'm getting ready to film this. How should I film this? How should I shoot this? What should I do? How should I promote it? What's my my market? What should I do as a marketing plan? This dude has it all, and he's going to come on this week, all right? And he's also going to when I do the 925 reunion with my guys, my 925 reunion, because I've already cut up some pieces of the show way back in the day.
That's this week, or that's going to be this week?
Well, I don't think that's very motivational because
it is. It's motivational. See, what some things that people forget about is what they did already.
But
sometimes what you did already gives you motivation to do what you need or want to do further, because you remind yourself, yo, I did this. This is what I've done. I accomplished it. Now I could take it further to a next level. And a lot of people don't look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all talk about in our stories what we've done, but we don't talk about in our stories what we've done that motivated us from that to continue doing what we're doing now.
Well, I can get the guys on there because there was a guy when we brought off from in Harvey, Illinois. His name was I forgot his name. Leon, I think his name was Leon Triplett. And he wanted to do news. He wanted to be a newscaster. So we let him do news. Just give a quick thing. You know, we had a guy, like I said, he's an actor now. He's been in a couple of films, and he's also with the locations manager for Empire. You know, he was on doing music news. Him and this guy was doing some hip hop music news. You know, one guy was doing plays now. You know, they did our live show in Harvey at the studio that we helped build. So I mean, it's a lot of things that happened with that show, and I wanted to bring those guys on just as a reunion type thing. You know, I've stayed in contact with a lot of them, and just wanted to give a reunion, show some of the clips that we had back in the day. But you know, it could be motivational. I could throw it on.
It definitely will. It's called a puzzle, and we all got a piece.
Well, I wasn't thinking of it that way. I was thinking of it just to have some fun, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll do it Friday. I'm gonna do it Friday. But this is what I wanted today was to after Chris had put that out there, I said, yeah, most definitely. Let's motivate. Let's try to encourage people to live their dreams.
Ludane went from not eating to eating.
I know. She lied.
She's a woman. She can change her mind.
I didn't want to say it, Jocelyn. I didn't want to say it.
Dope-living motivates me to eat every time. I'm so hungry on this show.
Then you shouldn't put it in your title, Ludine not eating Kilgore. Hey, check this out, y'all, real quick, okay? DopelivenTV, we'll be right back. Okay, it's supposed to be others had the face. Okay, I typo. My bad. All right. But anyway, you get the gist. All right.
Hey, Greg, one thing that I definitely say in motivation, again, don't be afraid to fail.
Don't be afraid.
It's not failure. It's not failure. It's a lesson.
Right.
Don't be afraid to learn a lesson.
2 bankruptcies later. Lost 2 houses in foreclosure. 3rd business is a charm. Own a house right out, and the list goes on. Had I let failure stop me, then where would I be?
Motivation. Yep. Y'all better listen out there. Y'all better listen. You all know that we reached a plateau, man, with this, okay? And I think, and as I've been looking back on these shows, our Monday shows are never huge. All right, because we all get together and we just talk about things with each other. Because we off the weekend, we getting with each other, we making sure we good. Tomorrow, we'll make sure everybody else good. All right.
So I'll talk about it once we get off the air. I got 2 people that I want to bring on.
I got a few myself. All right.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. We want to bring other people on. That's going to, people see us. They know our story now already. All right. If our story hasn't motivated them enough, okay, we should have touched 1 or 2 people, but we got other people that are coming through. Okay, I think each and every individual on here is phenomenally motivational. All right, and I appreciate you guys, but we want to hear from other people. I'm gonna bring the sex doula on,
and that's motivational. How?
Right.
It's gonna create more jokes for me. That's motivation from my jokes.
I'm calling in sick that day again.
Motivation from the jokes. Yeah, you might not want to hear that day. Motivation. Hey, y'all, look, y'all got to give it to me though. I've been real nice lately.
I'm
You
calling.
have.
I'm coming to take notes.
I've been real nice lately.
I want to be in a sex school.
I have
So
not.
let me ask you, what would be the subject for
petite,
that?
on
I'm not
petite.
bringing her wrong.
Oh, okay. I
No,
just want to know.
nothing.
I
Nothing.
mean, like it is. I did my research on it. It is sex doulas out there.
Yeah, there are.
It is.
But you have to. And again,
Yeah.
I always say what's on my mind. You don't have to like it. If you don't like it, inbox me. Tell me what's up. I mean, I hear you. Okay, but you have to know what you're talking about. And you got to understand. And the other thing is this: you have to have thick skin, okay? Because everybody's not going to agree with you. So when somebody clap back at you, you can't just freeze up or either come back at them negatively. You listen to it, all right? And if you're who you say you are, you can intelligently rebut it. Period. If I'm wrong, look, all of y'all have checked me, all right? Y'all have humbled the fuck out of me, okay? So, and I'm good with that. I am very good with that. I don't know everything. I'm Chris got more money than I got. I don't know
Quit
everything.
lying. Why you keep putting it out there? Don't be lying to these people.
I'm just saying.
Chris, I sent
See,
you my
now
cash.
look at it. That's what I be talking about. Now you got my messenger going
Hey,
up.
can I
Yep.
get $1? Can I get
Cash
$1?
out.
Can I hold $1? Can I hold $1? Can I hold $1? Can I hold
Chris
$1?
hey Ludine, Chris has Cash App. I have Crash App. My
Mhm,
Crash App.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
I seen you
mhm.
He
somebody
lying. I go to the strip
named
club and I throw coins at females. I make it hell. I don't make it right.
I told you, dude. I told you. See, you already ready for that midget strip club.
You gonna knock them out with a quarter, Chris?
And yeah, that's what I got.
Hey, Gina, don't go
Oh.
nowhere, Johnson. Even though Johnson can't be doing all this, okay? But Gina, then midgets just take them quarters. They take them quarters.
Hey, G, I got some stuff I'm gonna send to you that's funny that I think we might not do it. Well, knowing you would do it this week, but I got some stuff that I'm gonna send to you that's hilarious.
Hey man, I will put anything on, okay? The thing is this, we can always go off topic, okay? But I think every week for the past 3 or 4 weeks, we've served our purpose, and our
Yeah.
purpose was to educate and entertain, okay? And that is what we've done, and we've done that successfully. Last Friday, y'all know we got almost 1,500. All right. So that may seem small to other people, but when you start off and you're not pushing it like you're supposed to push it, you're not doing everything that you're not supposed to do. And I still haven't done it that way, okay? But we have brought people in just from our conversation, just from our personality, okay? We've brought people in, all right? Imagine when I start pushing it to this place and that place and this place, okay? We can easily get over whatever we need to make, okay, as far as numbers go. If we had a number that we were looking for. We're not looking for no numbers. We're here to educate and entertain. That's what we're here to do.
We doing this for y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get to the core. It's my second bottom. We get to the core of everything. No, I'm not doing this for this core. Y'all know I'm not doing this for this, okay? But y'all reached out to me. I ain't reached out to y'all.
We doing for the core listeners.
It is what it is. I didn't reach out to y'all. Y'all reached out to me. So cut check. That's all I'm saying. And I shouldn't have said that because now somebody gonna come at me and be like, "Oh dang, dude, why?" That's all I'm gonna say. Why? And I'm gonna be like, "Hey, wasn't my fault. I don't turn down no money. I'm sorry, I don't turn down no money. But I will donate. I will give back. All right. So motivate. Look, y'all check this one out. Ludine was the only one that wasn't.
She ate it all.
You ate it all.
Eat it all.
Ludine ate it all.
Eat it all, Ludine.
She ate it all. Look at her face.
Eat all your porridge.
Probably
Motivated by
did.
food. Ludine is motivated by food, y'all.
Probably did.
She's the only one that wasn't muted because normally when I do,
And you know, that's one of the Oh,
Like
you
I was
heard
saying,
everything.
everything. When I put these things up there, it automatically mutes everybody. Ludine unmuted herself so she could be heard. The last
I
slip.
got another question. Hey, Ludine, who's that on your picture? Why are you giving me the eye like that?
Because she kind of delayed.
What
For some
picture?
reason, Ludine,
Your
yours
profile
is delayed. Why does yours delay?
Your profile picture.
We gotta wait.
My battery's low.
We gotta wait till tomorrow to hear Ludine answer our question.
That's
okay.
me.
Get that answer tomorrow.
So hey,
Don't get that.
we're gonna ask her all the questions we need to ask her for tomorrow.
Today. Okay. Gotcha.
And then we just gonna roll with Ludine. Okay. I mean, come on, we be sitting up here. Hey, Ludine, who's that on your picture? Oh, my picture?
What the?
God damn, man. Woo! Ludine, I don't know if you're still working with the original iPhone 1. Just Ludine, come on, drive by, girl. Come on, please.
I got my new S20 coming tomorrow, y'all.
Ludine, I got cards for it.
Chris.
I got
You know what's crazy?
I got earbuds for you, Ludine.
Gina, you know what's crazy?
What?
They coming out with the 21 for Christmas.
Shut up.
Well, I'm gonna have to pass on the 21.
The no.
They're coming
Y'all
out with
gonna
the
throw
21
me
for
under
Christmas.
the bus like y'all throwing Ludine under the bus.
No, the 20 gonna work great for you.
Ludine threw herself under the bus, man. You know, I
I'm
was
just trying to figure out who's in the picture.
I've been meaning to say this from day one.
Ludine, that was you?
We asked her this question. I'm thinking like, well, can she hear us? And then all of a sudden,
Hey, Ludine.
she answered the question while we asking the question again.
Hey, Ludine, cut the camera off real quick. No?
She didn't hear you yet. Wait till she hear you first.
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Turn the what?
See?
I said cut the camera
You
off.
said what?
Cut the camera off.
Oh my God.
Oh, you changed the picture. You changed the picture? You changed the picture?
Chris, you keep asking the question, dude. I done told you, boy.
I know. I'm trying to. Hey, look, I got to say it a couple times. So it go
Ask once. Put your timer on your phone.
Oh, that's what I got to do.
60 seconds.
That I didn't
Yeah,
change
my
the
bad.
picture. I didn't change the picture.
No.
Ludine, we asked you that question.
Ludine, you got a 5-minute delay.
Why y'all treat me so bad?
I'm gonna wait until you get that. I'm gonna wait.
Let's fake Ludine out, okay? She gonna ask a question, and we're gonna sit up here.
Oh my gosh.
Ludine, you're funny, but we're gonna have to get you something that's more speedy.
I can still hear everything in real time. I can hear everything in real time.
You're lying right now. You are lying. She's trying to make it.
So basically, what you're telling us, Ludine, is your phone is made in karate. I mean, in China.
Her phone got COVID. That's what it is. All the circuits got COVID.
You know how in karate movies the word don't match up. You hear everything, but the word don't match up.
The lips are moving and the words can't come afterwards.
What's the man's name that's coming to Gary with the phones?
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Ludine. Stay. You the first in line. All right.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Hey,
She
Josh,
would be
hey,
feeling
Josh,
like
No, don't
I
wait
don't
on
want his phone. I
you
don't
don't
got
want
wait
his
on
um,
phone. I do not want
Josh,
his
but
phone.
don't
I
wait
don't
on
want his
get it.
phone.
Well,
No,
then you have to get it, and you're gonna be
no,
first in line before
no.
they even erect the building. Okay, just stand out there and wait.
the building is erected. It's called the
So
Genesis Center.
this is what I have to ask about that situation. Is it count your chickens before you hatch situation, or is actually going through? Because does it have to be approved by somebody, the state or something, before it goes through
What goes
about
through?
what he's doing, what the guy with the phone is supposed to be bringing to Gary?
Who knows? Because I think the FBI, somebody stepped in and halted everything.
Like
I
they
saw a
did
car
everything.
out there.
Like they
Just
did everything else,
No.
everywhere else.
that's the old Ivanhoe, right? Where they cleared everything out, right?
Right.
I saw a
Mhm.
tractor out there the other day, just sitting in there, a car.
So what you saying, Jocelyn, is that the Genesis is still open in so many words.
Genesis ain't never closed.
No,
From
I'm
what
talking about open for sale, since he won't have it.
No,
I don't know what you're doing. I'm not part of the city administration.
No,
I
gotcha.
have any communication with city administration.
Genesis is always going to be Genesis. Is always going to be there. It may not have any business. I don't even talk about the Genesis Center, but Ludine,
Leave Luda alone.
Hey, what kind of chicken you
Yes,
cooking,
hold
Ludwig?
on.
Greg.
I'm trying to ask her a question. See if she is answering. Ludine, you got some salad going on too.
I was gonna ask what kind of chicken you cook.
She got an abacus in the background, man, doing all the beans, Chinese arithmetic. Ludine, just stay still, please. Please. We love you, Ludine. We love you, but we're gonna get you straightened up. We're gonna get you straightened. Just take your pick, red or blue. Red or blue. Take your pick.
Always red. Always red.
I knew Jocelyn was a gangster.
He
I
told
knew it.
you red the
Yeah.
last time you asked him.
Hey, look, we got. I will put it up right now. Ludine, $50. I was sending 50, but everybody send us $50, man. That's a $200 phone. You got your own service stuff.
What?
I
Everybody
don't
send
think she. I don't think she probably be able to buy a $200 phone that's gonna work well, especially with 5G. No, with 5G, these $200 phones be acting crazy.
sound like she in a restricted cave or something. I don't know.
So it sounds like somebody eating them crackers.
The more hard pork
So
rinds. What it sound like? Oh,
up.
hard pork rinds. The pork rind edges. That's what she. We said the joke 12 minutes ago. Shut up. We're done. We're done. Anyway, look, this is how the week should start. Let's all lay the base for this motivational week, which is what we've done. So tomorrow we're gonna get to the crux of motivation. We're gonna have some people on here that really do the motivational speaking. All right, on Facebook, they do it outside where they used to do it before COVID, but we want to hear from everybody. All right, we want to make sure that we motivate people this week to live their dreams. All right, and some of the things that were on those little things that I sent are very motivational. Oh, damn.
Quick question,
Yeah,
Jocelyn. What's the date again? December what?
10th. I was gonna mention that before we roll. The
That's a
10th.
Saturday, ain't it?
No, that's a Thursday.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. Because I
Yeah.
was just looking
Yeah,
at it.
you're right. It's a Thursday because tomorrow the 1st. You're right.
Yep. Thursday.
Okay.
Oops, let me go up. Thursday, the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I got a question. Is Les Brown still on the circuit? You know how he used to be the
No,
premier.
he's doing a lot of YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Not YouTube, but LinkedIn. He's doing LinkedIn Live.
Oh yeah.
I've reached out to him already as well. I want him to come on. This dude has the blackest hair for a 90-year-old I've ever seen.
What about Dick? Is Dick Gregory still alive?
He's dead.
No, he passed away.
Yeah.
So we can't call him.
Well, Ludine probably can. She
I can call. I can get in contact with. I can get in contact with Paul Mooney.
Oh,
Chuck D.
Yeah. Hey, there's nobody we can't reach out to. We got a little numbers now, so we can still reach out to some people. I want to get somebody that not the normal people that we talk to all the time, but I want to get somebody who, like, Chris, you brought the guy that had the boxing, and
Snapper.
yeah, and my new
Hey,
girl.
so what's up? You ain't got no Nate Robinson jokes, Chris?
I said Sunday. I said after Sunday, I wouldn't say anything negative about Nate Robinson.
Me too.
I got it all out my system on Sunday.
And Jonathan, I got jokes.
I got it all out my system on Sunday. So I have to give. I got to give him props for even stepping into the ring.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Nah.
No, the reason why because I know Jake Paul. He trains well. Yeah, he trains out here in Vegas in my guy Bones Adams gym. He's been training for at least 2 years. So
Nate had no business in that ring.
No, I give him props for being brave enough to get in the ring. I give him that. Only on 3 months of training. I give him the props of that. But that's where it starts and that's where it is.
But what's up with Mike Tyson admitting that he got high before he went in the ring? That was
he's been doing that forever though.
Oh yeah.
It's just more notable now.
The best part of all that whole night was Snoop Dogg's commentary.
Oh my God, he was hilarious. I was dying laughing.
He need to be back on boxing because he can't do the NBA. He cussed too much.
No,
so
boxing.
We're gonna have to get him back on pay-per-view somehow.
I loved it.
But you know what? They did better than I thought they were gonna do. They really did. I didn't think it was even gonna be a good fight. But they did a good job.
Hugging Mike Tyson like that was his girlfriend, man. He was
right.
Some things that I saw in the fight, being around boxing, that I saw was Mike wasn't going 100%. He was going like 65%.
Yeah, because if he had to win 100, Roy Jones would have been.
If you notice during that whole fight, Mike didn't throw not one uppercut. That's his punch.
He threw one.
No,
and it missed.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But look, Roy Jones was hanging all on him on the ropes. He was tired. I don't think he's gonna be back in the ring again.
Well, from if you saw the post interviews, from the way he was holding his midsection, his ribs, I don't think he's gonna get back in there either. Because Tyson most definitely bruised something.
Chris, that first round, Roy was dancing around. By the third round, he was like, "Hey, Mike, how you doing?" Hugging him. How you doing, man? We gonna see each other after the fight. How you doing?
Yeah.
He was
Tyson, like I always say, Tyson is someone you don't want to play in the ring with.
No, Tyson got the power.
He held it down, but they made some provisions because of their age. The ring was smaller. I could tell the ring was smaller than the traditional ring.
That's to create action. The smaller the ring in, the more action they want to create.
Yeah,
because
Tyson knocked a gold record out of Roy Jones. I'm telling you, dude.
I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It did well, pay-per-view, and it wasn't embarrassing. I should say.
No, that was Nate's job.
And it
wasn't even embarrassing for Nate because I knew Nate wasn't gonna win.
But Chris, he got on Twitter the next day.
A red dude. He felt like
But okay, when this is over with, I'm gonna send you sparring video of Jake Paul sparring. He does that to professionals that he spars with. That's been boxing for 8-9 years. The same punch he hit Nate with, he hit them with him, and they do the same thing. So he has power in that right hand. It's just Nate. Like I said, I'll give him props for getting in the ring. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But,
I give him props for bulking up for it too. He bulked up. All right.
I mean, he was always in shape. It's just you don't play. You can't play boxing.
You can't
play basketball. You can play baseball. You can play football. You even can play soccer. But MMA and boxing, you can't play that.
How come Nate went out there? Nate started off looking like a Friday night sissy fight. He was up there.
Yeah, he wasn't trained for it.
If you really look at Nate, it seems like they just taught him offense and they didn't teach him defense and what happens when you get hit. Like Tyson always say, you always have a plan until you get hit in the mouth.
But
That's Tyson's favorite word.
I didn't hear Nate when he got hit, though, did you?
No, because he was out.
Well, see, the thing about it is, what happened was, and it takes me back to Chris Tucker and Money Talks.
Mm-hmm.
So Jake hit Nate in the Abdullah Obligata right behind the ear,
mm-hmm.
and he didn't feel nothing, but he went down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened the first time. People thought it was a behind the head rabbit punch, but it was right behind the ear.
Yeah, Nate was he was still talking as he was going down.
Yeah, and the second time was the forehead punch. That's how you know he has power, when you can hit someone in the forehead and knock him down. Then the last punch was the lights out punch. Because what we failed to realize, Jake Paul only landed 8 punches.
Wow.
3 of those 8 punches knocked Nate Robinson down.
I think my mama got that forehead punch down.
She's not gonna be wild with that forehead punch.
40 years later.
Hey, look. We know a whole lot of mamas was heavy-handed back in the day.
I think I still got a bruise.
My mama was accurate with that shoe. She could fling that shoe from east side and it hit you on the west side, man. For real.
Yeah, my experience was a tooth knocked out of my mouth.
I got it was a certain point where the belt didn't work anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I got in trouble, I got the fisticuffs.
I know one time my father hit me, man. I fell just like Nate Robinson did. I was like, straight down.
Lights out.
What you say, boy?
Nah, that's one.
I ain't doing it.
That's one person I ain't play with. Because he the type to tell you get butt naked and lay with your face in the pillow.
Oh,
I was like, and get whoopers that way. He did that once. I ain't never messed with that man again. I was cool.
I always test him once. I tested my father once. He told me,
we all do.
We all do. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing. What you say to me, boy? I ain't doing. And before I could finish that sentence, Nate Robinson.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I went straight down. He clocked me, man. Like oh man, woo! I went straight down, and I pretended like I was out for real, and he was still hitting me.
We all should have got paid. We all should have got paid like you were in the boxing ring.
Ouch.
I mean, for 600,000, I mean that's a cool little payday.
Dude, I will get in the ring with Mike Tyson and run my ass all around there. I will run a marathon. Mike, me.
One thing I can say about Tyson, what he did during that fight, and that's because the ring was small too, is he cut the ring off.
He cut it off.
To hit him with them body shots.
But I will get in the ring for if Mike Tyson paid me $500,000 to get in the ring. It's only
my life is too precious.
Well, man,
he might get a flashback. Probably say I look like Buster Douglas or Evander Holyfield.
Gotta catch me.
I'm doing.
I'm
gonna tell you 2 stories that I had with Mike Tyson out here in Vegas. The very first story, we was at a club called Ice House downtown Vegas.
I know where Ice House.
And he was so intoxicated that we was coming in buying bottles, and there was no more private tables left, no VIP tables left. And Mike was there, but he was drunk. So they had to remove Mike to give us that tape. And Mike was pissed. I just told him, I was like, yo, Mike, man, you come sit down. You can drink with us, bro. If you still want to sit down, man, it's still open to you. Because I wasn't playing with him. When Mike is drunk, it's like a pit bull being loose in the hood.
Ask Mitch.
Yeah, exactly. And then the second time was I was at an MC Hammer concert at UNLV at Thomas and Mack. It was MC Hammer, Tone Low, Young MC. And MC Hammer brought people on stage. So we all went on stage. And this is when Mike first lost his daughter to that treadmill.
Yeah.
2-year-old. And Hammer announced Mike was in the audience, and I said condolences to your daughter and praying for you and the family. That's what I said. I don't know what he interpreted it as, but he got to look in his eyes like it was like he was about to head to the ring.
You ran.
And I was good. No, I didn't run. I was just good. I knew security was good.
I'd have ran.
Nah,
I would have.
he
I
had to
would.
look at his
I would
eyes.
have.
But we talked afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I was just giving you condolences and praying for you and the family.
Chris, if I get Mike Tyson mad, I'm gonna tie my shirt up in the front. And then
You're gonna be like Tommy was on Martin.
Yes.
When they was on the cruise ship.
Hey, Mike, it wasn't me. I'm the hairdresser, okay? Please, it was not me.
But yeah, no, I don't play with Mike. I wouldn't get in the ring with Mike. I get in the ring. I get in the ring with anybody else but Mike. Mike is somebody you don't want to play with. I don't care what they say he is. If he hits you, he can end you.
I'm good.
I get in the ring with Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing about it. What I tell people about the Nate Robinson situation, if it was a street fight, I believe that Nate probably will hold his own. But when it being a train, what is it called?
Exhibition.
No, not even an exhibition. It's called Queensboro. Queensbury rules. Nate lost. He'll lose every time.
I tell you what, though, you know what a win every time?
What?
That windmill. You can't get past the windmill.
Shoot.
Yes, you can.
Hey, look. I just seen some fights when they used to hold fights at the Radisson, back in the day. And they used to show up on the cable channel. A lot of them dudes used to come out with the windmill and get knocked out the ring. You can most definitely make it through the windmill.
But anyway, again, everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. Okay, it's DopelivenTV Live. We're on a motivation tip this week. Okay, and tomorrow we're gonna do more of the same. Right, so until tomorrow, that's Dean eating Kilgore. You can ask all your questions today. She'll answer tomorrow. That's Jocelyn, Kelly. There go Chris Mills. That's Gina Gasson. I'm Greg Gray. DopelivenTV Live. Ludine, start waving now while I'm talking. Okay. Peace out.